Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory 1.0, and in this episode we are going to continue with our tier milestones as we work on tier 6. So sit back, relax, and let's jump into it. So let's have a look-see at what we can expect with our tier 6 milestones. So first things first, we have industrial manufacturing. Industrial manufacturing gets us the manufacturer, computers, heavy modular frames, modular engines, and adaptive control units. What does it require? It's requiring 200 motors, 200 modular frames, 400 plastic, and 1,000 cable. All of those we are currently building in our factory, so we should have no problem whatsoever getting those materials to be able to crank out that milestone relatively early in this episode. Next in line, we have Monorail Train Technology. This, of course, gets us all of the train stuff. Train things are fantastic for being able to transport materials over long distances, as well as you can also... at least it was in the early access, you can use the monorail also as a means to move power around too, because you end up powering the monorail, and then you can link to the monorail to pull power, across the map. So it's another little sneaky way to be able to easily get some power across the map. It's expensive because, of course, you're laying down monorail, but then it's also a transportation system as well. This requires 250 motors, 500 of our encased industrial beams, 1,000 beams, and 1,000 pipe. Again, all of these are being currently built in our factory, so we should have no problem getting this one done relatively early. Now we're getting into things that do require some new technologies or new process lines that we have to build into our factory. Railway signaling. This is going to require computers and pipe and copper sheeting. Computers we're not making right now. We are going to have to get a production line set up for computers, and I believe the computers are also going to require circuit boards. We have to have a production line set up for circuit boards as well. Next in our list of milestones is Pipeline Engineering Mark II. This gets us our Mark II pipes and pumps, which is 600 cubic meters for a flow rate, and the pumps give us an elevation of 50 meters for head lift. To be able to move fluids vertically. This is going to require heavy modular frames, plastic, and also rubber for this. Heavy modular frames, of course, we do not have a production line set up for that, so we're going to have to build a production line for heavy modular frames. And then to tie it all up, we have our Ficsit Blueprint Designer Mark II. This gets us the 5x5 Blueprint Designer. This is going to combine our heavy modular frames, our computer manufacturing, and then rubber and concrete to be able to get that milestone done. So the first two milestones we should be able to crank out here relatively quick. The final 3 milestones, they are going to require us getting some building done. So let's get the first couple of milestones cranked out here right away. All right, I believe I have everything I need to be able to get our first milestone done. So we're going into industrial manufacturing. We are selecting this milestone. We're loading in 200 motors. That is all loaded up. We're loading in 400 plastic. We're loading in 200 modular frames. That's all done. And then 1,000 cable we have to put into this thing. And that is launched, ready to go. We now have the manufacturer. What does Ada got to say?
Milestone reached. Manufacturers can receive up to 4 inputs for the production of complex parts, such as computers and heavy modular frames, but most importantly the 2 new project parts. The modular engine and adaptive control unit are essential for the development of Phase 3 of project assembly. You are making good progress. The future is starting to look bright.
There we go. That milestone is now completed. So While we're waiting for that pod to return, we got to go gather up the materials we're going to need to be able to complete this next one. And we have our pod returning so that we can continue on with our next milestone. Man, that thing is loud when it's coming in. All right, land already. Land! Okay, we should be able to pull this off now. Let's go into Monorail Train Technology is what we're doing now, and we're selecting this milestone. We're adding in a whole pile of motors, 250 to be exact, and then we are going with encased industrial beams, and that's going to be 500 of those, and then 1,000 beams, of which it's like hopping all over the place as we're trying to load that, and then 1,000 pipe as well. And bam, Monorail Train Technology has been completed.
Milestone reached. Trains are excellent for efficiently moving vast quantities of parts. Train logistics can be made more precise and complex with tools found in the railway signaling milestone. I listen to all my pioneers, often when they're not even aware of it. So due to popular demand, I have added a motivational message. Choo-choo mother...
Choo-choo mother... Okay, that's kind of funny. Now we're going to be diving into railway signaling for our next milestone. But to do that, we need to have a production line that is going to be making computers. And let's go see everything that we're going to need to be able to pull that off. Okay, let's build a manufacturer. We've got everything in my inventory that I can do for this. Okay, it's going to be floating in the air a little bit, but that's okay. And we are selecting computers. What is it requiring? It's requiring 10 circuit boards per minute from us. Also 20 cabling and 40 plastic. Plastic and cabling, not an issue. We are making plastic right now. We are making cable. The circuit boards we aren't making. Circuit boards, I believe those are done through an assembler. Let's just throw one of these down so we can have a look at it. And here are our circuit boards. So the first recipe we've got is 15 copper sheets per minute and 30 plastic per minute for that. What is our alternate? Let's look at the alternate recipe that we did end up getting, and that is the electrode circuit board, which is 4 rubber and 8 petroleum coke. Well, we're not making any petroleum coke, so that is kind of off the table right now. So we're going to be dealing with the traditional recipe of copper sheets and plastic. So we're going to have to get our plastic over here to wherever this manufacturing line is. And what did it say? We're going to need a total of 70? Man, I hope we're making enough plastic. With us having to dive into making computers, we need to make sure that we have everything we need for materials. So I brought our plastic and rubber all the way over from where we're making it over at our water source. And so we've got, it's about 100 plastic per minute is what I'm making right now. And then 75 rubber per minute is what we're making. The rubber for now is just getting dumped into an awesome sink because I'm not going to be storing a lot of it. And I've got a small storage here set up with the plastic. Then the plastic's coming out of here and it's moving this way, and we're heading into some assemblers. And these assemblers, they are configured for making our circuit board. So we've got 60 plastic per minute is being dedicated into making our circuit boards, which will make us about 15 circuit boards per minute. And then we have 30 copper sheets per minute coming in from our copper sheet storage. And we are starting to accumulate a small supply of circuit boards. Now from here, we've got to set up our first manufacturer. We go into our production. So in our manufacturer, we are going to be setting up a computer production line here. So what do we need in this? This is going to require, we're going to require circuit boards, which we're making right here, nice and conveniently. And then we are going to need 20 cable per minute as well as 40 plastic. Well, we've got 100 plastic coming off of this. So we actually have plastic ready to go to feed out into here to take care of So we've got an extra 40 left over. So I'm actually going to be bringing this line here out now. And then I'm just going to line that up this way. Back it up too. Okay, so our plastic feed is now coming in here with our 40 per minute that need to go in there for the computer manufacturing. I need to bring the cable line over here, and then we need to deal with these circuit boards. I think I'm actually going to relocate this. We're going to come to this point. And then I will bring the circuit boards out here to be able to connect in with that one. But I'm going to just kind of change things around a little bit so that it all lines up. So I'm not clipping into... Well, let's just do it right now while we're talking about it. I'm going to move this storage container to about... where are we at? Organization, storage container. We're going to put that right about here. And we are coming out of this. We're only making 15 per minute, so we can get away with just using Mark 1 conveyors. We're going to throw those circuit boards into here that we've made already. And then we're coming out of here. Straight into that. You know what? I am going to do a much better job than that. And we're going to use the straight layout for it, so it just feeds in a little bit better. Okay, so circuit boards are now feeding in. What is this going to take for circuit boards? Okay, so this is giving us a surplus of 5 circuit boards if we need to use it for anything else that we're going to be building. So at least we've got that all nailed down. So the only other thing I need to bring over here then is copper cabling, and that's coming from over there. So that's going to be a little bit of a jaunt to bring that over, and I might just be able to go like this. And I'm just going to throw in a direct feed in, and we'll deal with overflow when we actually need to get more cable into some other manufacturing. So technically, logistic-wise, this is like set up, ready to go. And I'm going to throw another storage container out here, just so it's got a place to put them. And then we're going to come directly out of this. And again, a Mark 1 conveyor is plenty. If I could actually click on it properly and not into myself. There we go. Okay, logistically we're set up. I just got to bring power over to this and then bring the cable over. We could be making 2.5 computers per minute. I've managed to conveyor over the cable. It is now plugged into here, and we are getting... we're making our circuits at 100%. I've got 35 cable per minute as leftover cable, so we are using that at 100%, which is fantastic because, yeah, we only need, this leaves us like 15 overflow. And then plastic, we're bang on for the amount of plastic we're making. So between our circuit boards and our computer system, we're running 100% efficient over here. We're not wasting any materials. We're not starving any materials. This is fantastic. And we are making 2.5 computers per minute, and we've got a whole 2 of them so far. There's number 3. Number 4 is coming out here any second now. This thing is noisy. Wow. Listen to that thing firing up. There we go. We have a computer chugging away into storage. So now we've got circuit boards and computers. Let's quickly go and have a look at our milestones to see what we needed to be able to turn in one of them. I'm pretty sure computers is what we need, but I think we need like 50 of them. Let's have a look at this and see. We are looking for railway signals. Yeah, we need 50 computers. We need 1,000 copper sheet and 40 pipes. So we're going to be waiting a hot minute for those computers to make up. We're making what, 2.5 per minute, so that's 5 every 2 minutes, so that's 20 minutes it's going to take to be able to make all the computers we need. Well, I guess I can... What else do we got to make? Oh, I guess we could start making the modular frames while we're waiting for that to build up. You know what we do have while we're waiting is we've got some Ficsit coupons that we can be spending in our shop. We got 17 of them from various things that I've got being dumped into the Awesome Sink. So what are we going to spend these 17 tickets on? I'm pretty sure we ended up getting some stuff unlocked. I'm just having... We've got our various trophies and stuff here. I'm not focusing on any of this stuff yet until we have basically everything else done. So there is Mark II and Mark III power options that we can be unlocking, as well as some hypertube attachments for floor and wall ports. Organizational, we could get some more lights, some switches. Customizer, we've got a little ways to go here on the customizer. There's still, like, we've already got the concrete foundations, but there's still asphalt that we could get, grip metal, coated concrete. There's a bunch of things there that we could get. We also don't have any of the floor paintings yet. Foundationally, we got stairs, quarter pipes, quarter pipe extension pack. So we've got some options here on things that we could grab for foundations. Walls, we still actually have quite a bit that we got to do. There's doorways, there's gates, there's steel frame windows I've already done. Windowed walls we can do, as well as tilted walls we can do. Architecture wise, we've got industrial walkway we still haven't done. Like there's still a bunch of options that we could do in architecture. Equipment wise, I think this is if we just want to buy stacks of rebar or stacks of nobilis and stuff rather than crafting them. I don't want to waste tickets on that kind of stuff yet. Same with parts. I'm not going to spend any tickets on parts itself. So we've got 17 to blow here right now. What, you know what? Let's get... That's 6. We're going to add that to carts. Gates is 9. We'll add that to carts. We've got doors. That's 11. We'll add that to carts. So that's taking care of this first full... 11. You know what? 16. We can add that. We got 1 ticket left. What can we spend 1 ticket on? Do we have anything left that's not ridiculously expensive? I think it's going to be like a tape, because I don't think I have anything else that's just 1 ticket. Customizer, there's no 1 ticket customizer options. Organization. Oh, we've got some of the different colored metal boxes we could do. There we go. Hypertube floors. We'll get that. Add to cart. That should be 17 total. Buy. Okay, we've added some new design features that we can be using on our factory. I was just thinking there's one thing that I need to be crafting here. Since we're going to be starting to do windows and signs and stuff like that, I'm going to need some quartz. And we haven't got any quartz in any automated process so far. So we're going to do a quick scan here and go on a walkabout to see if we can find some quartz out near our base here. Oh, look, we've got some that is 400 meters this way. So we are going to run some quartz feeds over here and get some. We'll get quartz crystal manufacturing done, and we'll get silica manufacturing done. Lo and behold, just over from our factory, we've got a couple of quartz nodes that are right here that I nearly just fell off this cliff for. That would have... You know what? I can jump down that far. This isn't too far. Oh, that's far enough. 1 hit from these guys and I'm done. Whew. Okay, let's quickly take a heal pack. That was a little further down than I thought it was going to be. Oh, and considering I could have just like ran through this little tunnel here to get to our quartz section, does this like lead right under at our base as well? Like, how convenient is that? We got a little roadway that leads down to where the quartz is. All right, from our quartz 2 nodes that we had over there, the best we're going to get is 150 items per minute at 250%. I do have them overclocked to max on the Mark II miners. So I merged them together into one line of 300 items per minute coming through here. We are using our new Mark IV conveyors to be able to move these along. And then I'm bringing it up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this line. Half of it is going to do quartz crystal, and the other half is going to do some silica. And just like that, we have our quartz production set up. So we're doing our silica on this side, except for it's not... Oh, I forgot I set this up as a smart splitter so that we've got overflow storage going into here, and then when we need our silica for any production, it's available out the front of this smart splitter, and it's just going to help with our dealing with overflow and that kind of thing. So our priority line is out here. Any overflow goes into storage. I did the same thing over here with quartz crystal as well. We got quartz crystal being stored. Again, this is a smart splitter. This is set up to overflow, go into storage. Everything else goes out to where it needs to go for various productions if we need quartz crystals. So, okay, we're over at our MAM Research, and we'll see what we can crank out with that little bit of quartz crystal stuff that we ended up picking up. Crystal oscillator. Let's look at that one. Yes, we can turn this one in. There we go. So we've got a new production line for making the crystal oscillator. Let's get Ada in there.
Research completed. Crystal oscillator recipe unlocked. New quartz research available.
Oh, inflated pocket wrench. We get 6 inventory slots from a stack of the silica. Oh, that is unbelievably needed, so I appreciate that.
Pocket dimension now extra dimensionalized with additional dimensional capacity.
We should have everything we need now to be able to get railway signaling taken care of for that milestone. So we're going to select the milestone. We're going to throw in a stack of 50 computers. We're going to throw in some steel pipe and then a whole pile of copper sheeting. Launch away. Railway signaling is complete.
Milestone reached. Train signals placed on train rails can control and improve train behavior. This helps to avoid events where multiple trains attempt to occupy the same physical location. For information related to earlier train events, please refer to your employee non-disclosure agreement.
And just like that, we have another milestone done. What's next? We are diving into pipeline engineering, so we're going to need lots of plastic, lots of rubber, and then heavy modular frames, and they are crafted with a manufacturer. Let's throw a manufacturer down and have a look at what we're going to need for the heavy modular frames. Okay, we got a nice big open space here. We're going with a manufacturer, of which I am missing plastic. I can't put it down without a bunch of plastic, which I think I should have. Well, hopefully I've got some in storage here, because we're now consuming 100 plastic per minute. So we're using everything. Oh, we're using everything. I'm going to have to go out to our other storage container all the way back out at the factory, of which we'll do by taking a trip through our hypertube. Hypertubes, it is a great way to get around. You can kind of just mindlessly travel without really thinking about where you're going. At some point, once we get a little bit more further distance set up in some of our factories, we'll set up some hypertube cannons and launch ourselves across the map. But I want to make sure I have the hover pack, not just the jetpack, to be able to land some of that stuff. So we've got our plastic. Let's throw down a manufacturer and have a look at this now. And have a look at what's needed for making heavy modular frames. Man, it's a lot of stuff. We are going to need 240 screws per minute. So one line of screws off of our screw manufacturer we're doing. I need 10 industrial encased beams per minute. We need 40 steel pipe. I don't know if we've got, I think we only have like 35. We're going to be short on the steel pipe and then modular frames. So, now the thing is where are we going to put this thing? I think ideally the best place to put this is over where our steel pipe and steel beams and industrial case beams and everything are already being manufactured. I think that's probably a good bet. We got some room over there to play with that, and it's kind of a steel type production. So let's go set something up over there and get some logistics set up to see basically what this will look like. Now, you really think about it, when you put this piece of machinery down here, it's big. Like, it takes up a lot of real estate having a manufacturer down on the ground here. So that's something. Well, this took some logistics to make this happen. So we've got screws being loaded in. We've got pipe being loaded in. We have modular frames being loaded in. And we have encased industrial beams. I think we're going to be okay. Encased industrial beams we're making plenty of. The screws, we're at 240 items per minute for the screws. Steel, I want to say I'm a little bit short on the steel. I think I only have about 35 per minute. I'm definitely short on the modular frames. I only have an excess of 5 modular frames per minute. This is calling for 10. However, that is building our versatile framework, which right now we're kind of stockpiled, and we're not using it for anything. It's not going anywhere. It's just sitting in storage. So the 5 that are being consumed here right now of the modular frames, so I'm not really using them at all. So it's allowing, as I fall to my doom, it's allowing all 10 items per minute to get fed through, and I've just run them all underneath on the underside of the floor here. So the screws are coming up from this side, they feeding in through here, and then we've got our steel pipe coming from all the way over that far side. This is the modular frames, and this is the encased industrial beam. So from the underside, it's kind of ugly, but it's nice and clean up top here. I could have had them a little bit closer, but I wanted these elevators to kind of line up along the center of this foundation. So that's why it's offset like that. So technically right now, because things aren't like fully running, this is building 2 heavy modular frames per minute. But if everything was to all fire up all at once here, this would end up starving out from pipe and from modular frames. Modular frames before the pipe, because I think we're only short like 5 per minute on that, but the modular frames, we're making like half of those, which is just showing that we're really, really needing to get to that next phase where we can increase our miners up to Mark 3 so that we can get 600 items per minute off of them, or later on even 1200 items per minute off of them. I think 780 I think is what we can get for a Mark 5 conveyor, and then the new Mark 6 conveyor, which is coming like later on, that's going to get us into 1200 items per minute. So we could definitely take advantage. Like, we've got the Mark 4 conveyor right now, which is capable of 480 items per minute, but I don't know if we can really mine that much yet. Some of these pure nodes that we're pulling from underneath here, if we take a quick dive down here to these lower levels, I got room to play here. I could be upgrading this iron to 480 items per minute, which we'll probably end up having to do before long. Same with this iron node here. This is a pure node. Where this really comes into play is on our normal and impure nodes, is where our miner is not going to keep up to what our conveyor is capable of doing. So all in all now, I think all we're waiting for is our computers and our modular frames to stockpile a little bit so that we can grab those and turn them in to be able to get the last 2 milestones completed. I've accumulated our materials we need to be able to get our next milestone completed. This is pipeline engineering. We have our heavy modular frames. We're going to throw those in. We've got lots of rubber in here. We need 1,000 rubber in total to be able to get that done, and then 1,000 plastic, of which we've got a pretty good stockpile of plastic now as well. So this is done pipeline engineering Mark II. This gets us 600 cubic meters of flow through the Mark II pipeline.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are recorded instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
So apparently we have a pipe compulsion as humans. Anyhow, next is Ficsit Blueprint Mark II, where I'm going to need 100 computers, 100 heavy modular frames, 400 rubber, and 1,500 concrete. So I'm going to gather up these materials. We're going to wait for that pod return, and then we will be able to complete all of our tier 6 milestones. And I guess the next phase will be working on phase 3 of the space elevator. So let me gather up those materials. Our pod is returning, and now it's time for us to complete our tier 6 milestones. Let's wait for it to land. In the meantime, we can get things loaded. We've got Ficsit Blueprint Mark II. We are loading this up, selecting our milestone items. We've got 100 heavy modular frames. We have 100 computers. We have 400 rubber and 1,500 concrete. Mark II Ficsit Blueprint Designer is complete.
Milestone reached. The Blueprint Mark II improves upon the Mark I in every dimension, except for the metaphysical ones. This improvement was made available due to complaints from pioneers about other pioneers not being capable of managing their space efficiently. We listen to pioneers, always.
So basically, the Mark II was introduced because people complained it wasn't big enough. I haven't really delved a lot into the original Mark I Blueprint Designer, and I probably one of the most complex things I did is in my Mega Factory for 8.0, or sorry, 0.8 or update 8 for the early access. I did this tunnel that went through and housed my uranium ore, because I took all 2100 uranium on the planet and I converted that into a massive nuclear reactor. And so I wanted it contained inside this like tunnel, concrete tunnel that was over top of everything to be able to shoot it out to our water resources. And I had built that in the Blueprint Designer because it was a pain in the butt to have to go through and physically build that section of tunnel over and over and over again. And it was very convenient for that. There was a little bit of like quirks with how to get things to line up properly and making sure that it was facing the right direction and whatnot. But all in all, it was fantastic for that. I am going to do a mental effort of trying to use the Mark II Blueprint Designer to try to vertically integrate our factories, so that I'm not as spread out with, manufacturing things like iron rods or manufacturing things like screws. I want them to be in these pillars that are basically copy and paste to expand them, build up on them, type things. So that's one of the things I'm going to focus on with the Mark II Blueprint Designer. But with that said, we have completed Tier 6 milestones. What are we looking forward to in the next episode? Well, we need to be able to unlock Tier 7 and Tier 8, and the only way to do that is finishing Phase 3 of the space elevator. Let's look and see what we've got to be able to do to be able to get that done. So we've already got versatile framework done because it was running down here through this entire Phase 5 and Phase 6 since we started making versatile framework, so it's completed. So we need to be making modular engines and adaptive control units and getting them dumped into this to be able to complete Phase 3. So we're going to have to build manufacturing lines for our modular engines and our adaptive control units. And then we'll be able to launch this and get another new animation of the expanse of our space station that they are building up there. And I mean, so far it's been amazing to watch this whole process as we're getting through to building up our space elevator and building that space station up there. So that's what we're looking forward to next time. Guys, reach down, hit that like button on the video, leave a comment, tell me how your experience has been so far with playing the full release 1.0 of Satisfactory. I can't wait till we start to get into the Phase 9 and early, or the end game type stuff, all the new things that they have added. I have started planning for what my 1.0 Mega Factory is going to look like, and there's a lot of new factories and new machines and new pieces of equipment we're going to be delving into. I'm really looking forward to that. So subscribe if you haven't yet. Please reach down, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you can be notified when I've uploaded a new video. And with that all said, you guys have a good one, and we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.